Right. So, so thank you for coming along. I'd like to welcome our guest speaker, Matt Miller, for coming along today. This is our 5th webinar in our Eco October series. It will be recorded and uploaded onto our website for future reference. Before I hand the floor over to Matt, I'd just like to take this opportunity to advertise what offers we have for our businesses within Uttlesford. So this is our business team. There's myself, Rachel and Sarah. We form the economic development team, and we're here to provide on-hand support for our businesses and also to signpost for any financial support, any job opportunities, and also advise you of any grants that are available. We have one more webinar this week. So tomorrow we have practical digital sustainability for SMEs. There is still some availability for that. So if it interests you, if you'd just like to apply for that. As well as our webinars, we also have a low carbon workplace grant. So this is a £5,000 match funded grant that's designed to help our businesses that want to reduce their carbon footprint. It can be used for materials and equipment, retrofitting, LED lighting, solar panels, business consultation, carbon literacy training, and also many other items. If you go onto our website, there is a list of things that you can apply for within that grant. We also have one-on-one consultations. This is a 1-hour consultation that's taking a deeper look at individual cases and identifying problems and solutions. This is very good to apply for if you're going to be applying for the grant as well, because it just gives you a bit more scope and some ideas and maybe suggest some things that you didn't even really consider that the grant could help you with. We have business coaching. This is completely free to our businesses. It's fully funded. It's 6 hours online group sessions, and then there's 2-hour one-on-one private sessions. We currently only have 2 spaces available for that. I came with an idea and I left with a business. We have 4 grants available. So we have our business startup grant, which is a £2,500 match funded grant, and this is for businesses that are 2 years or younger. We have our High Street Premises Enhancement Fund. This is a £5,000 match funded grant, and that's if you want to enhance the front of the premises. We have our Rural England Prosperity Fund, and we have our Low Carbon Workplace Grant, which I discussed previously. On our website, we have a free to download startup guide, and this contains all the information you need to know if you're starting up a business. We've recently redeveloped our website and improved our directory. So this is basically, it's free for our businesses to sign up for. It's resident facing. So if you're on there, our residents can see your business. It's also ideal if businesses want to be collaborating with each other, then they can find each other within our directory. So we would strongly advise you to sign up for that. And finally, we have our e-newsletter. So this provides you with all the advice and support that's available. This is sent out fortnightly. So if you haven't subscribed to this, I would advise you to do so to keep yourself updated with all the advice and support we have available. So without any further delay, I'd like to pass you over to our guest speaker, Matt. Matt, I'd just like to thank you for coming along and presenting for us today.
You're most welcome. All righty. So, shall I share, Andy? Is that probably going to be the easiest way?
Yes, please.
Right, let's take control. See where that's coming up. How about that? Is that coming up?
That's lovely. Yep.
Lovely job. Okay, so hi everybody. My name's Matthew Miller. I'm the Green Sector Development Lead for Essex County Council. Today I'm just going to talk you through retrofit and some of the things that we are working on at the minute and a bit of where we've come from. So I'll start off with why ECC are focusing on retrofit specifically. So just for all those who aren't fully aware of retrofit, so it's got triple benefits really: supporting residents out of fuel poverty, profit, environment and well-being. The Essex construction GVA is actually 25% larger than the average economic opportunity, which is over about 15 billion. So we're looking at a lot of potential for jobs being created there. There's a lack of energy efficiency result in the second greatest contribution towards GHG emissions. And if we're going to save energy and reach net zero, then we must retrofit. So energy efficient retrofits reduce the operational costs, particularly in older buildings, as well, to help attract tenants and gain a market edge. And also there's money to be made by businesses and residents. We need to build a local supply chain. So just some key bits there on retrofit. A bit more detail really in terms of the opportunity for Essex. So in the UK, retrofit itself is expected to create just shy of 500,000 jobs, so 455,000 jobs, of which 67,500 are expected to be in the southeast. So for Essex, that could mean up to 12,800 jobs, but we need to ensure residents and businesses can benefit. So our own retrofit program through our schools and estates is essential to develop like a pipeline of activity which shows the opportunity. So regards local people, articulating the importance or the opportunity of reskilling, retraining, driving demand for courses. Then when we look at education and skills, so colleges and universities, providing the courses needed to enable our residents to train. So that's, that's sort of looking at the starting point there and ensuring that if the retrofit requires the skills, that actually that they're available for young people to be able to get onto. So businesses marketing that opportunity by phasing and sequencing work so it's accessible to businesses of all sizes. So isn't just available to large businesses and enables businesses that already exist to diversify and get into those areas and take those opportunities. Procurement, so establishing procurement routes to enable local people and local businesses to access that opportunity to get into retrofit, whether that be through the skills element or whether that be through actually the work that's going to be there, and ensuring that procurement process is nice and simple and easy for people to get onto. And then also tackling inequality. So inequality of opportunity and jobs, women and young people particularly, and those impacted by COVID and future opportunities. So the outcome we look at is a circular economy. So those trained and given work through the process would then have transferable skills and experience, helping Essex to be at the forefront of wider retrofit in commercial and domestic settings, keeping those jobs local and the money spent within the Essex economy. And just to really clarify that I probably didn't start with in terms of retrofit. So retrofit is rather than a brand new house, is taking existing properties in all the guises that there are. So all the different variants and variables of types of building, from commercial building all the way through to residential building, and all of the variety in there, and looking at the EPC ratings, so the energy ratings of those properties, and assessing them and making informed decisions in terms of changing the nature of that property to ensure that they're more energy efficient, that they're more sealed towards losing the heat and actually managing that heat and managing the energy usage within each of those properties to improve that EPC rating and get those as high as we can. Now there's a huge amount of opportunity within Essex, hundreds of thousands of properties in the residential side alone, with a variety of different backgrounds of people who could pay for it and those that can't, and some of those being commercial and some of those being local authority owned. So just really want to give a bit of a background as to what those are and what retrofit really means. So in terms of what we're trying to do as Essex County Council, forging relationships. So we've got a few delivery partners, and one here being the Retrofit Academy. And just to give a bit more detail in terms of what's happening with the Retrofit Academy. So Essex County Council and the Retrofit Academy are working as one team, so collectively. So we've just to give a bit of context of what we've done. So we've had a successful CRF bid where we've got 700,000. We're now collaborating together and joint working, piloting new and innovative approaches, and a whole system approach to developing a retrofit supply chain. And on that, so that's the element, that's bringing the skills, that's bringing the businesses, that's bringing the opportunities, that's bringing the procurement, all of that together and working that whole supply chain from start to finish. and creating that and managing it so that the opportunities there for the businesses, that the people who are being re-skilled or newly skilled are taking those opportunities there, and they're not just getting the skills and hitting a brick wall of not having anything to do because the work isn't there, and vice versa, the work isn't there and waiting for people to be skilled. So managing that and working collectively to try and drive that, really, really important. And also focus on developing this supply chain, not just training the retrofitters. And I think that's a really key thing. So it isn't just about lobbing some skills into the supply chain without considering all the other parts. So lots of talking and listening to all elements within the sphere, whether they be retrofit assessors, who would be the ones who'd come and actually make an assessment of a property, which would, the next step would then be, well, actually, what changes do you need to make? You know, fixture and fittings, or is it air source heat pumps or ground source heat pumps, or solar or energy management systems? So there's a whole variety of things that can be done. And what we're trying to do together collectively is to ensure that that all moves on together rather than just little pockets of pieces that are being done. So we're actually looking also within that supply chain and stock condition reporting, fit for retrofit and business support, the training of the retrofit professionals. So supporting the Retrofit Academy with funding efforts and with actually funding from ECC to get more people trained. And actually Retrofit Academy are doing a huge amount of training courses across a variety of levels. So the level 1 being the retrofit assessor, which doesn't require any background qualifications or knowledge. They can start at that point. So there's a real good entry point into the retrofit sphere is as a retrofit assessor. And then off the back of that, so that retrofit assessor would literally assess any building potentially and provide then the next steps of what could be done with that building to make it more energy efficient. And if they then go on, then there are more and more training courses all the way up to air source heat pump fitting, which we think that a lot of those could be existing gas engineers retraining to gain new skills to be able to do that alongside their existing work. As gas boilers become less capable to be put in, obviously gas boilers aren't going to be going into new properties at some point, where the legislation would stop that happening. So at the same time as that tailing off, then more heat pumps going in. So obviously helping with supply chain as well. And also train the trainer, legacy of provision at ACL as the Retrofit Academy in Essex. We've also got some other project partners here: Harlow Council, Tendrick District Council, Parity Projects, and then ACL, so the Adult Community Learning. And this will grow and is ever growing as time goes on, as the retrofit, the whole supply chain is developing over time, and these relationships will grow throughout. So outcomes and outputs, just so where we've got to so far at the point of writing this. So we've actually had 249 people in education or training following support. We've supported 20 businesses. We've had 11 organisations supported, 4 individuals in full-time employment following the support, 1 new business formed, decarbonisation plan developed, feasibility study developed, and we've actually got 3 trained tutors teaching retrofit at the Retrofit Academy. So it's developing all the time, and growing. And retrofit is a really interesting area to get into. And as we said, we're funding a lot of opportunity for people to get in and actually learn from the assessor all the way up. So there's 4 different levels within the Retrofit Academy in terms of getting into the retrofit arena. But as I said, the key one, that entry point, doesn't require any qualifications, and is a really good entry point. So we think in terms of skills is terrific, and we are promoting more forums and more talk with all the people who are in that arena, from businesses, suppliers, potential businesses, to understand all the push and pull factors where we can support as ECC with either more courses or more funding or more opportunities. And as I say, this is developing over time. Just say, yeah, so just a couple there, just in terms of awards that have come through off the back of what we've done. But the Unlock Net Zero Awards was an excellent one for the Retrofit Academy there. But just next points, really, next things that we're working on. So we are continuing to partner and work with the Retrofit Academy and other pioneers. And I think pioneer is a really good word there. They very much are looking to push this. This is a new industry really that's developing, rather than the building industry adapting to it. So these are new skills, these are new processes, and Retrofit Academy is certainly at the forefront of that. So we continue to deliver training in the retrofit skills, as I said. So level 2 to 5. So that level 2 is the entry point, and that's the assessor. 2 to 5. There will be a 6 that's being worked on at some point. So there will be more growth in terms of actual, not just accreditation, but skill levels that are being developed. We'll also develop more pathways for learners, and those are entry points to get in. That is also at the same time, through colleges, universities, and looking at skills of how we can manage that, and looking at the whole supply chain. Targeting business support so that training qualification isn't the end of the story. So as much as I said, if the training is there, we aren't delivering enough for an individual who will go and retrain or get new skills, that they've got to be able to use those. So yeah, collectively listening to businesses to help provide them with procurement opportunities as well. We've got further funding secured for this year through the Home Decarbonisation Skills Training Competition. So that then is funding us with hundreds more opportunities for learners to take those up through the Retrofit Academy. We're joining supply and demand through the Retrofit Training Forum and networking events. So we've had a variety of those, and we will be getting more, an opportunity to listen and learn, understand, and develop those through getting the right people in the room together. Innovation is key as well. So we're continuing to innovate and pilot new things, and any change in that will be, we will look at those opportunities, and also working with the academics. So UCL through our Net Zero Innovation Network to find innovation in procurement, support our SMEs. So the Net Zero Innovation Network is very much that. That's academics, businesses, learned people, and looking for ways to innovate within that sphere. So looking for new opportunities and ways to develop businesses, processes, supply chains to hit the net zero targets that we have. Obviously, we've got a 2050 net zero target as a country, and at the moment, that's still what we're working towards. There's a huge amount of opportunity there, and it will gather more and more momentum as time goes on. But that, to me, is the end of the slideshow. So I just want to say thank you. Anyone who wants to get involved or want to know more, please email me, Matt, matt.miller, MILLER, at essex.gov.uk. Please do. I could put you in touch with any of the Retrofit Academy if you want to know more about any of the opportunities that exist there. But yeah, just want to say thank you, and thanks, Andy, for having me.
No, thank you, Matt. No, it's been brilliant. And yeah, if there is anybody, if they want to get in touch with us, we can also put you in touch with Matt and his team. Or if you have any questions or queries in regards to us, then send them in to us, and we can answer you. Brilliant.
Marvelous.
All right then, lovely. Thank you then, Matt.
Not a problem. Have a lovely day. Thanks, Andy.
Take care then.
Take care. See you soon.